What's crackin' gamers? It's ya boy Daily Tactics here, back with some more Mandalore Assault Squad 2, the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, and you could probably tell from the title of this video, we're doing a realistic Siege of Mandalore. This is a series where we use the Clone Wars realistic CGI clone troopers, and each side has only one health. That means they are susceptible to be one or two shot if they get very lucky, and they are set up in sort of similar scenarios to the battles in the Clone Wars. However, it's hard to make it 100% accurate since this is just a video game simulator. Either way, the Siege of Mandalore is such a fan favorite that I thought we ought to do it, and Darth Bacon has released a new Siege of Mandalore map. Well, semi-new. It's been out for like a month now, but I haven't had a chance to play on it because I was playing other Siege of Mandalore maps that have been released as well. But I gotta say, this one probably takes the cake. I think this is my favorite Siege of Mandalore map that I have seen yet. It is so realistic to what the actual Siege of Mandalore looked like in the Clone Wars, so that's pretty hype. Either way, we have the 332nd newly formed Legion here under the command of Commander Rex, who is back here, and they are going to be assaulting the Mandalorian Darth Maul Death Watch troopers that are scattered throughout the city of Mandalore here. The 332nd is attacking from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different locations. They have flanking on point here, boys. Flanks for days, and they're going to be collapsing in on the Mandalorian defenses, which have static machine guns, troopers out the wazoo, free roaming troopers, and troopers that are holding certain positions. It's going to be a crazy battle. Either way, guys, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Let's try and get 2,000 likes in the first 24 hours. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a big giveaway at 200K. And comment down below what battle you'd like me to cover next. Either way, let's get right on into it. Hey guys, what's going on? Daily Tactics here, and real quick before this video begins, I wanted to let you know about instant gaming. It's something I have talked about quite often on the channel. It's an awesome place to go and get really good deals on video games that you are interested in. They have tons of deals on Star Wars games, like up to 90% off. Mandalore Assault Squad 2 is super cheap on here. XCOM 2 is super cheap on here. It's totally legit. I use it myself. Link will be in the description below if you want to go and just peruse, or if you see something you like, feel free to use my link to get it for yourself. So yeah, thank you so much to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for listening to this ad read, and I hope you enjoy the remainder of the video. Alright guys, let's get it! Let's get it! And we're gonna go in slow-mo for the first bit here, just so we can see things very clearly in the beginning. Not to mention, this is a huge battle, so it's bound to be pretty laggy, and sometimes slow-mo actually does help with the frame rate, because it has to do less frames per second anyway because it's slow-mo, and thus the frames improve for those lesser frames. It's confusing, and I don't fully understand it myself, but it kind of makes sense at the same time. Either way, here we go. Lots of shots being fired. This is 1 out of 3 ATTEs here. I don't actually expect the ATTEs to be super helpful during this battle, mainly because of the fact that these bridges are so narrow, and I have a feeling they are going to get stuck almost every time they try and walk, because pathfinding in this game is not the best at all. It also never really made sense to me in the Siege of Mandalore why the troopers would bring ATTEs into the battle, mainly because I feel like these kind of areas are just so easy to get bazooka shots off and things like that. There's no cover for the tanks, and they're just more likely to be hit by ambushes and rocket troopers and things like that who can fly up the sides of the bridges and stuff like that. Like, bringing tanks into these battles just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know. Is there like some strategic reason behind it, or is it another sort of Clone Wars doesn't exactly pay attention to strategic realism? Because after all, the clones were sort of marching down just an empty bridge with no cover in the episodes as well. Either way, it seems like the 332nd is doing a pretty decent job here, especially over here. They've taken minimal losses while killing a whole lot of Death Watch troopers. Captain Rex's crew over here took significantly more losses though, but you know, they managed to conquer their lands over here as well. I actually don't know where Commander Rex. I keep calling him Captain Rex. I'm a big dummy dum-dum. I don't know where he went off to. I hope he is still alive somewhere around here. You know, I could just be completely blind right now and I'm not seeing him, but if you guys do see him, let me know in the comments, because I always like to look back and see where the commanders went down, if they went down, or if they are still alive. Or maybe the tank stepped on him, because the tank will destroy bodies if they step on him. Either way, straight down in these middle platforms where the LAATs landed, we have more 332nd troopers attacking up these staircases here against some Mandalorians off in the distance. Looks like these are free-roaming Mandalorians who have decided to take a stand right at this position here, and they're doing a great job here managing to blast those clone troopers on the stairs really easily, getting a lot of fire out all together, which makes it so they can really maximize their amount of damage on these troopers. It also helps that the troopers can't really fire until they're up and over. Meanwhile, the Mandalorians can fire at them no matter what, and, you know, get some headshots and things like that when the clones can't even raise their guns high enough quite yet until they're up over the lip and already getting shot at. So the Mandalorians are certainly in a nice little position right here, but that could be helped for the clone cause by the flanking parties over here. It looks like these troopers are doing a great job of pushing forward, and if they can push forward fast enough and take on these Mandalorians at this bridge, it might alleviate some of this pressure on these staircase 332nd troopers who are taking a bit of a beating right now. Either way, this does look very, very cinematic, very cool to see the 332nd boys fighting. You guys know I love these realistic Clone Wars soldiers. They just look so cool. They really do look so cool. I dig them quite a bit. And actually, there were CGI realistic Death Watch troopers, but they weren't the red Mandalorian Death Watch troopers. They were actually the blue Death Watch troopers, not the Darth Maul ones. You know, these are like the Darth Maul ones, and then before the Darth Maul ones, they were the blue ones. They were the blue ones, so I thought it didn't fit as well as the red guys, so I decided to use the red Darth Maul troopers that weren't CGI realistic over the CGI realistic blue troopers. Regardless, it seems to be a bit of a slowdown on all fronts here for the clones. They're having trouble sort of propelling themselves forward here, breaking through these choke points. However, choke points should, in all honesty, be a little bit easier in this battle than in other battles, because they only have to hit once on the defenders, you know? The defenders aren't going to have time to heal. They're not going to have the ability to take multiple shots and things like that. So I would actually expect, yeah, these battles to be a little bit easier. Oh god, we have troopers falling off the sides. If a trooper falls off the sides, I'll bring them back up. But yeah, I'd expect it to be easier, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually harder, because when entering into a choke point, you don't have as much, you know, resistance to the incoming fire, because you are one shot and you're dead. Maybe there's, you know, an argument to be said for both, but I would think it would be maybe slightly easier. I'm checking out the divots in the battlefield here, looking for any clones that might have fallen, or Death Watch that might have fallen over the edge, but I don't see any over here. Either way, more 332nd troopers coming from this way, managing to get onto the bridge here. These guys are probably making the most progress right now, and they're actually being very helpful to these troopers and these troopers over here, because this flank will distract a lot of the Death Watch troopers on the bridge itself, and that'll definitely help out in the long run here. Either way, let's go into normal speed now. I think we spent enough time in slow-mo. Yeah, the lag certainly does pick up, but it's not too horrible. We'll still get like 16 FPS, it looks like. So, you know, I don't think it's too bad. These clones just sort of marching on forward here, ignoring these Death Watch troopers and not really firing at them. Oh, there we go. A few of them are firing at them. Did they manage to silence that guy? They silenced a few of them, but there's still more, actually. Ooh, that guy manages to clap two of those 332nd real quick there. Well done. Okay, I might actually go in semi-slow-mo, because it is a little bit laggy still. And, you know, it's a bump above super slow-mo, but it's still not quite full speed, so we'll get better frames. And it's Lord Gonk! Praise be to Gonk, our Lord and Savior. God, I love Lord Gonk. Praise be unto him. Praise be Gonk. Dude, it's Gonk. the ATTE over here is actually being very effective, managing to fire over onto the bridges here with its guns. That's actually a really good ability for this ATTE to be able to do, because these guys aren't going to be able to really hide in cover if they have this massive Goliath hovering over them, able to shoot down onto them. That's a pretty impressive strat right there, and you gotta love it. You gotta respect it. The hustle of the ATTE, baby. It's unmatched by any. Either way, these bridge situations seem to be doing a little bit better. Maybe not so much over here. These guys are still taking an absolute beating, but this bridge staircase has certainly crossed over, and that's good to see over there, probably due to the help from these fellas over this way, who are still cruising on in here and still managing to get many a Mandalorian kill. That's really the nice thing that the 332nd is doing right now, is they're getting tons of flanking action and stuff like that, which is helping their cause tremendously. If they were taking on this entire Mandalorian army just from one bridge, they would get caught in a choke point and destroyed almost immediately. But the fact that they are able to do a lot of flanking and stuff like that is really, you know, a benefit to their cause. Let's check back in way over here. It has been a while since we have, and it looks like they're not doing too hot. These guys got slowed down big time. A lot of the bodies have been deleted by the ATTE, so we'll never truly know how many soldiers died over here, but they do not have too many left alive. It seems like they got sort of marred down by the just huge amount of Death Watch presence over here and the choke points involved with that. So this is a tough area for them to take, and it seems like, oh my god, the ATT is not helping. It's actually killing a lot of the troopers behind it by sliding around like this. Oh god. Oh, this is just no good, dude. This is not cool, dude. Not a good look. In fact, it's a really bad look, and it's not even firing, dude. Oh, this is a mess. These poor troopers over here. Let's check back in on Captain Rex's fellas. Still not totally sure what happened to Captain Rex. I have a feeling he might have gone down and the ATTE stepped on his body, which destroyed it. Rip. I keep calling him Captain Rex. I'm but a buffoon, fellas. I am but a buffoon. It's, of course, Commander. Gotta respect the Commander Rex hustle, man. I really do, but I keep forgetting, you know? It's hard when after so many years we've been calling them, you know, Captain Rex, and now he's Commander Rex. It's like, oh, gotta train my brain to think Commander instead of Captain. Gotta train my brain. Either way, the 332nd is making progress over this way still. This might be the saving grace of the 332nd Legion right now, because all other areas are getting marred down in bad choke points and things like this. But this area is taking advantage of these flanks so nicely and making a lot of progress. So these guys might actually manage to pull the victory here for the Republic, but these guys over here most certainly won't. The ATTE over here seems to be moving to try and aid these guys, maybe. I don't really know how much work it's actually doing and putting in, but hopefully it's at least getting a few kills. Some 332nd are managing to start a little bit of a flank on these Mandalorians over here to try and help out the staircase troopers over this way, but I don't really know how good that's going for them. You know, it could just be not very effective. I mean, most of them are dead already, so not the most effective flank, you know? I don't know why, but the lighting here makes the Mandalorian armor look like rubber, you know? Maybe that's why they die in one shot, because they're literally wearing rubber armor. Well, that guy didn't die in one shot. He took 2 shots. What a lucky duck. What the heck, dude? What in the Sam heck? Well, maybe they do take 2 or 3 shots. Who knows? You know, the art of Men of War programming is kind of lost on me sometimes. I think it's lost on everyone. It's not exactly the best battle simulator in terms of like derpiness. It can get pretty bad. It's pretty derpy. It's a pretty derpy battle simulator. So I definitely don't expect it to always work out. What's also kind of weird is actually technically these troopers don't wear helmets. And helmets protect in Men of War, so they give armor points to soldiers and things like that. But these aren't technically helmets. These are actually technically heads. So if we go into their kit here, you'll see that there's no helmet. Meanwhile, if we go into, like, say, a Mandalorian kit, like this guy here, you see a helmet. So technically, the clone troopers have less armor than the Mandalorians in this battle, which is kind of interesting and definitely a nerf for the clone army in total. Okay, let's go into normal speed here. I think we can get out of semi-slow mode now, even though semi-slow mode is not that bad. It's like a fraction slower than regular speed, so I don't think it's too bad. We can actually look at the minimap right now. Blue are the clones that are left alive, and red are the Mandalorians. I would say things are looking okay for the clones. They still actually got quite a presence on the battlefield. I could definitely see them doing pretty well here. Oh my god, there's so many down here. What the heck? What happened, dudes? There's like a ton of troopers down in the bottom, like, well area here. Like a ton of them. What the heck, guys? Get back onto the battlefield. Come on. Get onto the battlefield. I don't know if I can save them. That's kind of a bummer. It kind of ruins the game when they all fall down into the crevices, you know? Alright, I got a few of them back up, but I don't know how effective they will be in this battle. Like I said, the ATTEs have not been effective, really. My prediction was kind of right. They're kind of poopy, man. They kind of suck, dude. They're not great. They're not great in the slightest. Yeah, they keep getting caught on the sides. They keep deleting bodies. They're not really getting that much fire out. They're just, all in all, a failure and a disgrace to the clone trooper army. Okay, normally in the TV shows, ATTEs are pretty baller, and they tend to do, in fact, considerably well. I think it's mainly just a Men of War problem where the ATTEs tend to be kind of derpy. Oh, we actually have a few Mandalorians up on the staircase up there. It looks like these clones are firing at corpses, in fact. Fellas, it's okay. They're already dead. Fire at the guys that are still alive. What the heck? We even actually have some clones getting up on these staircases. I'd be careful, though, because there are Mandalorians laying in wait. They'd be just an easy grenade away from being killed, but, you know, if these guys get caught out, that could be a pretty bad ambush if they don't realize that they're up there, so they better be careful. A couple of clones over here actually charging up these stairs to try and kill these Mandalorians. It looks like they've got a few kills on these Mandalorians, but there are still more managing to defend the stairs, and that could be a pretty good choke point right there. If you attacked all three stairs at once, I think you'd have a better chance of actually taking this little courtyard area, but right now they're just sort of attacking the one side. Oh, look! Minecraft blocks! Minecraft tree! Minecraft tree! It's like Steve, dude. I actually really like the look of Mandalore, especially here. Darth Bacon did an amazing job with this map. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, the detail. I love this. It reminds me of, like, Japanese gardens. You know, those sand gardens. I think those things are so cool. I really like this. I think this is excellent. Excellent map creation. Darth Bacon does it again. He has some of the best maps in all of Men of War. It takes him a really long time to get them out, but you can easily tell why, because they're just so beautiful, you know? Like, you can understand why it takes him like a month to make one map, because they are absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, well, the battle is sort of winding down a little bit. We have less sort of bombastic action than what we saw in the very beginning. But you know what? At least we still do have some action. I'm not sure if the clones are really going to be able to do this, to be honest. I mean, they still do have a lot of troopers, as we can tell by the blue on the minimap. But most of them are all relegated over here. And right now, they're going up against a pretty tight choke point in this courtyard here. And I'm not sure if they're going to manage to do it. The clones did... Oh, it's Lord Gonk again. Hello, Lord Gonk. One of your many entities. Praise be unto him, boys. Praise be unto him. But yeah, like I was saying... you know, the clones did start out with more troopers than the Mandalorians had, but, you know, it's a tough city to take, if we're being completely honest. I think in the Clone Wars TV show, one of the main reasons the clones were even able to take this city is because of the help of the jetpacks. Without jetpacks, this city would be next to impossible, which is what we're seeing right now, because obviously jetpacks don't really work in Men of War. You know, these clones can't use them, so they don't have them. But in a city like Mandalore, it's bridge battle after bridge battle after bridge battle, you know, and that means choke point after choke point after choke point, which results in no bueno warfare. You know, you're kind of done for if you're caught out in tons of bridges every few seconds and you're not able to really make any progress. That's, you know, the reality of this situation on Mandalore is it's tough. It's a tough nut to crack, and you know, they don't have that mobility that jetpacks would allow them to have, and thus the clone army is sort of falling and not doing too hot right now. I mean, almost all of Commander Rex's troopers are dead. There's a small contingency of them left alive over here, but that's about it. These troopers over here have been an immense failure. They barely took any of their land over here that they were tasked with. They have a few soldiers left alive. And then these guys over here who are sort of carrying the weight of the Republic on their shoulders right now, they don't have the support of the other sides, and thus they're, you know, failing to actually win. if they had the support of the other sides and the other sides weren't derping so much, maybe they'd be doing a little bit better, but it's just not the case, man. It's just not the case, and they're getting bogged down by these choke points. So it's really, really tough. That guy just got a shoulder shot into oblivion. Hate to see it, champ. Hate to see it. Dang, it's tough out here, dude. Dang, it's tough out here. So yeah, in other sort of news, as we watch the collapse of the 332nd in this battle, I think the stop motion release went actually really well. I was super hyped that the stop motion released and is currently my fastest viewed video of all time. I've never had a video get 50,000 views in 24 hours. That is insane. I mean, I've had plenty of 50,000 view videos, but you know, it might take a week. But this one just jumped up there, so that was really cool to see. And I truly appreciate all of the support that you guys threw behind that video, because obviously that was hours and hours and hours of work and planning and things like that. Right now, YouTube says it's at 40K views, but if you go into YouTube Studio at the real time, it says 50. So I think the numbers are just trying to keep up, and it's not really portraying it accurately. But god dang, you guys really showed up for that video, and I want to say thank you so much. I did a premiere for it, which is something I don't usually do with my videos. I've done them a few times in the past for Rico's Brigade when premieres actually first premiered on YouTube, but I didn't want to do them anymore because for some reason the premiere function always resulted in the video getting less views in the long run, but it seems like YouTube actually fixed that problem with the algorithm and premieres, so I might start using them more, but only for special videos. I don't want to sort of make premieres a regular thing because I think it ruins the hype for when you have like a really cool premiere like a Lego stop motion or something like that. So I don't want to use them all the time, but I will use them on occasion, I think. That being said, it was so cool to see all the support for the Lego stop motion. I want to say thank you guys so much for all of the support. It was so cool. You guys truly rock. Best fan base in the world. Honestly. You know, I was thinking about maybe doing a video where I just sort of like not react to the stop motion, but explain my thought process on why I did certain things and like how I did certain things, because I saw a few questions about how I got certain effects in there and stuff like that. So I could do a video sort of explaining that, or you know, just showing you guys sort of the process I went about making a scene and that kind of a thing. But I don't know if people actually want to see that. I think people might just prefer seeing the stop motion rather than having a bunch of videos harping on it after the stop motion comes out, you know? So maybe I will, because it's something I'm interested in, and I think I would have fun doing that video. But if you guys wouldn't be super interested, I probably wouldn't do it. Okay, either way, the battle is kind of slowing down here. I'm going to start combining the clone armies so that way they attack together. I'm squatting them up. It's a rule that we use in the videos all the time, so we're doing that. Seems like we're actually getting a bit of a launching assault over here up the stairs, so we'll see how these 332nd troopers do over here. This is probably the largest batch of 332nd troopers. There's another pretty large batch down there, but this one is probably tied for the largest batch of 332nd troopers, which is kind of funny that they ended up all the way over here away from the rest of the army, and yet they're still the largest batch. Maybe that's because they were away from the rest of the army, which was in a pit of disaster at this time. So maybe that's sort of helping them out at this moment in time, but who knows, man? Who knows? This was not a successful mission on the Siege of Mandalore. Maybe I'll do another battle of the Siege of Mandalore, but without the realistic clones. You know, get back to the Episode 3 clones that is regular for Star Wars Galaxy at War, and also give everyone normal health. And maybe then the clones will be able to get the victory here. I mean, it's realistic in the sense of how we did the battle, but it's not realistic in sense of the victor, because the Mandalorians did not win this battle in the slightest. All right, that entire squad of clones just got wiped out right there. They all went up and all died. That's kind of tragic, boys. That is kind of tragic. These, like, there's like 3 clones over here, and they're a complete mess. They're like sticking by this ATTE no matter what. No matter what. Oh, we got a little squad of clones over here. Little hit squad. They're actually going in a little bit here. Nice job, fellas. Get your kills. Get that bread. They're having trouble hitting these Mandalorians over here because of all the cover that the Mandalorians have. Mandalorians actually managing to kill quite a number of those clones over there. Now there's only 3 players left in the game on that side. No way. And then we've got another squad or 2 over here down the middle. Now this is definitely the largest group of clones. There's another few over there on the stairs. We'll send them over here. Why don't we like collect all of the clones and put them into one squad? All of these guys are like stuck down at the bottom. I can't really save them now. I mean, these guys, we can take the clones out, but the ATTEs are kind of stuck over there. Should we take the clones out of the ATTEs? That might help. Give us more of a fighting force, I guess. Get out of those ATTEs. You pesky clones. Out. Out, I say. Out. All right. Oh, those guys charged forward and died. Sad. These 3 troopers, 2 of which I think were from the ATTE, are now going to go forward and try and kill a couple of Mandalorians over here. I guess it's now just an attempt at killing more Mandalorians. I don't think victory is in our grasp in the slightest. Maybe I should do a sequel to this battle. You know, maybe I should do a part 2 where the boys come back and try again or something, or the Mandalorians have to retreat back and the clones have you know, start at a later point. That way we can see the rest of the map at the very least, you know? That could be interesting, you know? Maybe? What do you guys think? Because I mean, this was kind of a failure, and I'd like to see like the battle up here in the Citadel and things like that, you know? Could be neat. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll do that. All right. Either way, regardless, let's have a kamikaze charge of the last few troopers here. Everyone's dawdling around. No one's gonna win, so we might as well just see them kamikaze. They got a few shots off, but died. Big sad. All right. Last few clones here. This is a suicide mission. We're going to retreat you guys back. Retreat back to the final ATTE. This was a huge disaster for the clones, to be honest. They started off relatively strong and then just lost everything. Most of the bodies of both sides were destroyed by the ATTEs walking, so we're not really getting an accurate representation here of the losses. But yellow are dead clones and red are dead Mandalorians. There were still a bunch of Mandalorians left alive here, and left alive here, and left alive here, and everyone was left alive up here. So really the clones only took like this area and the bridges. They took the bridges, but they couldn't like take the inner city area. So maybe I'll do a part 2 to this where we start them off like at the bottom of the Citadel and they have to fight their way up or something like that. Could be kind of cool, and that way we get to see the rest of the map in action. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to comment down below if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.